Over the last 100 hours, IndiGo has torched the brand it built over nearly 2 decades. A brand that once stood for clean cabins, dependable schedules, familiar faces, a kind of comforting default setting for Indian air travel. IndiGo didn't just succeed, it became almost synonymous with flying itself. For years, we handed over the bulk of India's flying public to one carrier and pretended that concentration risk did not exist. Well, cut to this week, and India's biggest airline, the 9th biggest in the world, IndiGo, has collapsed into chaos. You know it. More than 1,000 cancellations in a matter of days, airports crippled by angry crowds across the country, families sleeping on terminal floors, elderly passengers stranded, and customer helplines jammed for hours, apps simply not working. First, the airline blames weather, then congestion, then technology, then new pilot rest and duty norms, and then quietly admits it hadn't staffed for the rules it knew were coming. For many months, not for a few weeks. And this isn't bad luck at all, but arrogance in my view. This is an airline that once spammed passengers with cheerful, chirpy texts saying their flight would leave 5 minutes earlier than scheduled. A pointless but smug little PR flex. Now cancelling vast quantities of its flight network while issuing tone-deaf corporate statements with zero humility and zero self-reflection. And then comes the worst part. The government's aviation watchdog, the Directorate General of Civil Aviation, buckles, not that it has a choice. Instead of taking IndiGo to the cleaners, effectively diluted its own rules to rescue the very airline that caused the crisis. And the worst part is they didn't even really have a choice. IndiGo overstretches, IndiGo grounds the nation, and the DGCA has no choice but to blink first. The regulator was forced by a single airline to embarrassingly capitulate, but now it is fighting back with everything it has. How did the Civil Aviation Ministry and the regulator not happen to see this coming? How did they allow a nationwide airline crisis that crippled airports in every part of the country? How could they let one carrier grow so arrogant, so indispensable, so unchecked, that when it chokes, the entire country simply stops flying? For Indian flyers, lakhs of them, this must be a wake-up call. If you've been stranded in an airport, missed a flight, or had your travel plans cancelled. Because when one airline becomes bigger than the system meant to police it, the meltdown is never just about the airline, it's about the regulator, the ministry, and an aviation ecosystem that has just publicly admitted that one private company can hold the entire country to ransom. Today's chaos has not just shamed IndiGo, it has shamed India.